Welcome back to Nat19. I almost said Nat19.
Nat19.
Welcome
back
and you know what? You guys did interrupt me. You left me to my own devices, and I almost fucked up, and then drew attention to myself almost fucking up. Professional!
You did it.
Where else are you? Hey! You do something new with your hair? Cool, it looks really good. This is session 25, campaign 1.
I'll go over to Miriam and attempt to, like, shake him awake.
Well, that's Quintus.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Miriam! Human!
It's like they all look the same.
They all look the same.
hobgoblin.
He says regarding the human he thought was a tiefling.
Yeah.
You walk over. I'll say, Miriam, you would have awoken this hour, and I think you even got the next highest roll. No, you didn't get the lowest one. In any case, him shaking you awake, you do stir and you rise.
Hey.
Hey.
How you feeling?
Like I've been shot in the chest. How are you feeling?
Same, honestly. Fenris is gone. She was taken. You think you can get everyone up?
Yeah, I'll get to work.
All right.
You guys, what's happening? Are we still fighting? What's going on?
What happened after I got down?
A little foggy on that myself.
Apparently Fenris is gone. She was taken. These two were tied up. Fallsman really came in clutch.
Fenris is taken?
We know where they're gonna take her to.
We are in no condition to go after her, though.
He looks around, sees Winchester laying over there. It's like, Winchester!
Winchester is still unconscious. As you rush over there, Fallsman also runs after you, seeing you being in distress, and comes up beside you.
Winchester was very helpful around the end. I tried to, I wouldn't have been able to knock them out if it wasn't for Winchester.
You see that I'm just checking his legs and making sure everything's okay, making sure nothing's broken.
He seems to be alright beyond being unconscious.
Yeah, he's a good horse.
I did my best to fix him up, but, I'm not really that good with horses. Not really that good at medicine in general.
I've never seen Winchester like this after a fight. Things are getting tougher, buddy. He just pets Winchester.
You put a hand on the heaving chest of the unconscious horse in front of you.
Vogan's right. None of us are in any condition.
We still got these two to worry about as well.
Not only that, but eventually we have some other of their friends coming for them too. How heavy is Winchester?
Too heavy for you.
Wow.
Too heavy for any of us.
Too heavy for me and Vogan.
I cast Healing Word on Winchester.
Thank you very
There
much.
you go.
I'm not leaving him outside. If we're
Okay.
planning on holding somebody ransom, I don't want them to also hold my horse ransom.
Go ahead and heal the boy.
Yeah.
Winchester rises, recovering the most hit points of anyone.
Yay!
Lets out, you guys hear stirring as Miriam walks over. What word do you use for your healing word?
My healing word? Quinn's waiting for you, Winchester. Just walk up and start singing that to him.
Walks over. Banana.
Grows a horn.
You walk over. Yeah, I know, right? That's a good reference. You walk over, you use healing word on him. Winchester lets out a bit of a huff as soon as you heal them. You see him stir too. His eyes open, traces over to you, over to the group. And you see him feverishly kind of buck like a dog running in its sleep, then stands up, trots over to the lot of you.
I will check him again and just kind of like pet on him and trying to make sure he stays calm, which he probably is. He's probably a lot calmer than me.
He goes over to you, lets out a whinny as he does, and as he approaches you, trots on the spot slightly, then puts his head down as if he's expecting to be pet.
I will pet him, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I'm sure you've been through this more than I know.
What exactly did you do to piss off somebody who has the power to twist Agravain's arm?
Had sex in her bed. And I stole this.
In Agravain's?
No, although I would. No. The Crystal Queen's bed.
You see when you say that, she's fairly guarded emotionally. Like, she keeps a very stern face with you, clearly intentionally. As you say that, you do see a brief moment of her eyes widen only slightly in a moment of surprise. And then her eyes look to the side, as if she goes into thought.
The Crystal Queen is in Satsumaru. They have been gone for a very long time.
She, again, looks over to Argo, then back to you guys.
That is making some things make sense. You had sex in the bed of the Crystal Queen.
Heads up!
Yep.
You
To be
deserve
fair,
to
it
be
wasn't
killed.
a group activity.
You deserve to die. You understand that, right?
I don't think that's true.
I do. You're idiots. You're going to get yourself killed one way or another if you manage to accomplish that.
You don't have to be mean about it.
I'm not, I'm just being blunt.
To be fair, it wasn't a group decision, but we do fall behind our group.
Fun problems with me and Fenris. For the most part.
She leans back.
You're
Extremely
lucky that
passively once everyone else did.
you are lucky that we are the only thing coming after you, if that is what you did. Have you mentioned that to him?
I don't think he's woken up since we've, well, taken him down.
I don't think he asked.
Hmm,
No, I don't think he's asked.
I see. Well, I'm not about to try to escape. You've taken my weapons, and I am very tired.
We'll tell you where
So-
they are whenever we let you go.
That's very courteous.
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
Well,
You missed them mentioning that the Crystal Queen was who put the hit out on them, and her saying that if you did that and had sex in her bed, you all deserve to die. Because that's mighty stupid.
She's not wrong.
Taking a different stance on this than the rest of the group did.
So then, your plan is to leave me here while you go to deal with what you're going to deal with. And if you do not come back alive, then
We'll let you go before we leave.
I will have rested by then.
Yeah.
What makes you think that the moment I'm free, I won't go for your throat?
We hid your weapons a pretty far way away. I think you'll have to go and get them first.
Well, now that I know who my employer is, you won't have to worry about me again anyways. Plus the tournament is starting in a couple of days, and we plan to earn some money for ourselves through that. Not to mention we
You
wish to
wasn't
move
sure if
into
he
the
was going to
Platinum
join
District.
that. Are you sure you are?
Fume is already signed up.
Oh.
Yeah, he was lying.
People do that? I'm kidding.
We wish to base our guild out of the Platinum District because it looks much better for a guild to be there. And we wish to make it far enough into the tournament that we are allowed to purchase property there. So, of course we're joining.
It's a noble goal. Is there a fireplace in this place?
Let's say yes. There's a
Let's
chimney.
find some wood
There's
for it.
actually 2 chimneys here, as I can see. Based off of the assets I used to make the sides of the house, there's 2 fireplaces.
Fancy.
What a
Place to be
strange,
super warm.
what a strange design!
I'm gonna
What
start
a fire
fire.
hazard.
Place.
Cook some of my
2
rations.
open fireplaces
You're gonna-
in a open room building.
You're like,
Hearing that you don't wish to go after us again, I for one would want to potentially help you. I let you go sooner, but my friends here probably wouldn't want that.
It's a long
There's
road
no-
back. It doesn't matter. She's in.
There's no use. There's no use in you staying here if you're not planning on coming after us again.
We would never have willingly helped the Crystal Queen. Most people around here have no idea who she is. The members of Io Kane do, only through reputation. Most of us, anyways. We would never aid somebody, and if you did something else beyond just fornicating in her bed,
Oh, I saw this. I told you.
the armor,
Yeah.
then good on you.
she leans back. She doesn't have a lot else to contribute. If she's not asked about anything else, for the most part, she's going to wait long enough to catch her breath. But she seems friendly after you guys do that. She actually has a somewhat apologetic look on her face, as best you can tell. for the rest of the time that she's there. A
Are
very...
you sure I can tell? I botched my
Not
insight.
you, not you, certainly.
Oh no!
Mix that with what is forgiveness. I don't understand this concept.
Yeah.
What's a tiefling?
She does look to be deep. She does look to be deep in thought for the remainder of the hour. About 20 minutes in, she takes some rations out and begins eating some dried meat.
I do have one more question for you. Why did you end up parting ways with Argo's guild?
Because he is unorthodox and suicidal.
Really?
We joined Iocane because we believed that their very strange MO and habits would be well suited to an antique and a tiefling who stand out in the first place. But we soon realized that due to some past trauma, Tantia and Argo are entirely obsessed with devastating anything related to undead or necromancy. They don't much care for their chances of survival. After a few too many bad close calls, we decided to part ways. Argo is, obsessive when it comes to particular topics, and Tantia stands beside him, no matter how insane his ideas are.
Thumbs up.
She heads over to her weapons. She is effectively out of the game. So are Molly and Kerbis.
Oh, gee.
What a
Curb.
strong fighter she was.
Oh.
She beat the shit out of me. Anyway,
God, I love her for it.
imagine if I brought her home to get to Unk Unk. She destroyed me.
Oof.
Unk, I brought home another tiefling! Is this just like a thing you're into, Quintus?
Oh, yes!
It's like a female kitty.
Oh. It's beautiful.
You told me I couldn't have kitties, so now I have her.
I have no kitty.
I am thriving. I love this so much. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've got a very close eye on Argo,
Yeah.
but
Watching them.
There's still the chance that the others are gonna show back up, so like I am still somewhat looking outside, but
Considering your only insight check was like a 7?
well, I didn't even insight check them because I knew
That's
I
why I'm
would
saying the only one that attempted to. She could have been lying through her teeth. Fucking Argo wakes up. I've never met that woman in my life.
Yo, yeah.
If you had if you had ever asked me for an insight check, I would have just been like, I fail.
And for the most part, yeah, I mean, that's fair. For the most part, that is something you call on your end, unless... Because otherwise, all I'm doing is pointing at someone being like, they're probably lying.
Yeah.
But I digress. I need to steal bread.
No, I was having so much fun watching. You can't do this to me.
Here comes the Bredison. So, yeah.
I'm going to go refill my water, and when I return, I will be taking bread to Dungeon 1.
You gonna Dahmer, Logan?
Giggity.
That's not how the game goes, Carrie. Leave me be.
BRB.
You're gonna
go.
Dahmer Logan.
Get her.
Go get water. You'll need it. I don't know. It's not really worth pretending to be asleep. I'll just wriggle myself to a sitting up position and cross my legs.
Alright. As you sit, the object she's throwing up and down, which you see catching the light from the window, she puts her hand up and she catches it, keeping it in full view of you. As she does, and you see the light catching it, letting off a bit of a rainbow sheen, you can see
How
that
did I
that
know?
is the apple.
Yeah.
That is,
I knew that
Amira's
was.
apple. She shifts her hand
anything.
to, like, move it back to you without looking at you.
Hey, what is this exactly? Is it food? It's made of crystal, but like, it feels like it's fruit.
It's an apple from the gods.
She turns.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
What does it taste like?
I would not recommend wasting it. I actually don't know.
Now, how did a criminal like you get a gift from the gods? You are a cleric, I suppose. But
She spins it on the tip of her finger.
Personally, I would object to the criminal's label, although the price on our head speaks to otherwise. We got that liberating a town from undead. Nasty
She-
stuff.
Flicks her finger in the air, causing it to bounce up slightly, then catches it, moves it, and puts it down next to everything that you own.
then I have absolutely no desire to damage it.
I'd prefer if you didn't.
So how do you feel, Fenris?
So you know my name?
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. Tauntia, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I heard Argo refer to you in combat. I think the obvious would be trapped.
Oh.
But besides that, my face hurts. I'm sure you're aware of that, though.
Sorry.
She
No hard feelings.
tosses a key over towards you.
I want to ask about the key. Is that to what I think it is?
Yeah. If you feel trapped, you'd feel a whole lot less trapped if you could take those off, right?
Sure. I'm assuming you feel safe enough to allow me to be without manacles, then.
Yeah, I already beat you up once when you had all your friends around you. I could beat you up again.
An interesting
If you want me to get
assumption.
rough with you.
My face aches well enough to remind me of how rough you can be. I shall pass for the meantime. It's a shame, though, it doesn't seem I'll be able to reach the competition now.
Competition?
Assuming that I... Yes, the one in town. The...
Oh! The tournament! The glass crown! I thought you were
Yeah.
referring to something more immediate.
No. We were just, spending time before that. I'll unmanacle myself at that point.
Just so you know, we're about, 3 hours out. You were unconscious for a while. If Argo were here, we could have woken you up a lot sooner. But, unfortunately, all I could do was,
She looks at you, looks you up and down.
all I could do was patch you up a little bit. And wait for you to come to on your own. Which
So much
sucks,
appreciated.
because if your friends manage to find us, I'm not going to have a chance to talk to you, and it also sucks that I have to talk to you, because I really would have preferred Argo do it, but since it's just us, girl to girl.
She gets up and she walks over to you and leans down to you.
What did you do exactly that got this mark put on your head?
It's a rather entertaining story. Why all of us are wanted is because one of our friends was captured and we had to rescue him from the Crystal Queen. And, well, we broke her bed. I think that's why she's mad at me in particular.
So then the Frost Claw? They're working for the Crystal Queen.
I
She-
assume that might have been...
Puts her hand on top of your head, very lightly tightens her grip on your hair. Not enough that it's uncomfortable, but enough that she can adjust your gaze.
And I will remind you, it is not going to avail you anything to be dishonest with me right now. You have a lot to gain and more to lose.
I'm more than well aware. This is not the first time, nor do I assume it'll be the last time I'll be captured.
So then the Crystal Queen is the one that employed the Frost Claw.
I would say it's safe to assume.
That would explain the emblems on their stuff. Do you have a history with Satsumaru?
Perhaps a bit of a chip on my shoulder due to the nature of what caused some of the discrimination to anyone who looks similar to me.
She gives a blank look, most of that clearly having flown over her head.
I'm here anyway. I suppose a history lesson wouldn't be too boring unless that type of thing is boring to you.
I just don't know what you said. If you were in her castle trying to save somebody, what's your connection to her? I'm very curious. You're not on a good terms with her, clearly. But how bad are the terms that you're on?
Interesting question. I suppose she's rather livid. She probably hates me. I strongly dislike her for the entrapment of our friend. And
Since I've
also
taken you, what do you think your friends are gonna do? They have
good
Argo.
people.
I wasn't able to... Argo stayed behind because he wanted to make sure things went the way that we were trying to make them go, and looks like he's succeeding. But they're not they're not just gonna murder him, are they?
No, I don't think so, at least.
What do you think they'll do if they think I'm going to deliver you to the Frostclaw?
Probably try to find where I am as soon as possible.
Well, they won't find you here.
If I am so doomed, where is here?
Argo
don't
and
mind
I
me asking.
know this town pretty well. A long time ago, before any of us were born, there was a plague that swept through here. But Argo has the means to counteract disease, so whenever we founded our guild, we decided it'd be a good place to be. And just our luck, the Frostclaw happened to make a abandoned church around here their base of operations. Whenever they moved in, This is one of a few places we consider to be our safe houses, but it just looks like a dilapidated multi-story house as far as anyone else is concerned. It's an old guard tower. I can't
Smart
imagine
place.
if they think that I'm going to deliver you tonight. I can't imagine they'd search every single house in the town.
Don't put that past them. They might. Most of us are, yeah.
But we were actually hired by Agravane to make sure that no one got you.
The amount of shock plastered on my face.
But if we went
Huh.
public with that, it would have caused problems. So Argo and I thought that rather have a long-term job where we just expect this to eventually fix itself, what if we set up a situation where the Frostclaw all got together in one place, and then multiple groups converged on them at once? Without those groups even necessarily knowing that they were part of an ambush. So we were waiting for you guys to come here. We were going to try to take you and your tiefling friend to try to ensure that your guild would try to go after them. And then if I recall, the idea was to wait until they were in combat and then come in and support them. But we didn't want to do that until we were certain it was the Crystal Queen that they were working with, because otherwise the job's a job, I guess.
I'm curious to why you in particular don't like the Crystal Queen, if I may ask.
It's our job to kill undead. It's what we live for. The Crystal Queen Satsumuru. She once had a castle in the tundras to the south of Retia. And those that lived adjacent to her knew very well that that woman's a vampire. Argo lost his family to her a long time ago. Satsumuru used to take people from nearby villages, and she would turn them into her thralls or hypnotize them into being her servants. There was some big operation she was doing down in the tundras that we're not certain about. It must be done by now, but she used to take people and make them into slaves, work them to death. And Argo's family was one such group of people.
She reaches back, takes the apple off the table, comes back to you, crouches very close to you, and offers it back to you.
Thank you. I'm keeping it for a rainy day.
Assuming they don't kill Argo, I'd really appreciate your help.
We have similar goals, and I mean, you pack a wallop, so I don't really plan on opposing you anytime soon. I'll help you as much as I can. The
So,
rest sounds good.
small talk
Yeah.
notwithstanding,
Yes.
would you like to rest until things happen? And by things happen, I mean as soon as the party makes any move on the church, she's going to suggest sneaking up to getting over one of the walls using ropes and getting in behind them and trying to ambush them. Basically staying near the party and waiting until some clutch moment comes about when they would be needed, and then trying to jump in on it.
Heck
Or-
yeah.
Cool. I'm sure I don't need to tell you. Please
Yes.
remain relatively silent about the details of the conversation when we go back.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot. I'm not even. Mum's the word.
Roger.
What a fun time.
Back we go.
Yes, sir.
We skateboarders, and then we.
The back.
Oh no!
Hey
How
guys.
bad she fuck up?
Are you
How
dead?
bad she fuck up?
Is she dead?
Don't worry about it.
She's dead, right?
Don't worry about it.
She's dead. Yeah.
Ah, Brad, I can't wait to see your new character.
I'm taking her off the
Yeah,
combat
man.
tracker.
Oh my god, he's actually dead?
I just noticed that she wasn't restrained anymore, but she was critical. Interesting.
She should have still had restrained on her at the end.
It wasn't on there.
Argo would stir awake. I don't need to have that initiative thing on Winchester. Argo would stir awake.
Ah! Punch.
All right, time to. It's like he was like, just you wait. You're gonna see the. You hit him. After a second, you hear. And you see the scythe blade come through the roof, but like doesn't it? Just.
Well,
Sorry, he was coming right for me. You all saw it.
But yeah. So Argo would stir awake again. Like he cracks his neck as he swivels his head to the side, looks towards Vogan. You see him look at you, make eye contact for a second, and then he closes his eyes and rests his head down again, incredibly obviously, as if he was still unconscious.
Hey.
that just a
I
thing
poke
they
him.
do?
I poke him.
Oh no. Nargo's not here.
Who am I speaking to?
Ah.
I slap him.
Ah.
Oh,
All right, fine. What's up? You gonna hit me again?
I'd like to not, but, sometimes you leave me no choice.
I'll help.
That's fair.
Let's cut to the chase. Where's your friend?
Who exactly are you referring to?
To be fair, I didn't get her name.
Did she?
You mean-
Did she say your name? Or did he say your name or anything?
He
like
said
that?
he said
I
Tantia a
think
couple
he's saying
times.
it. Okay.
I was way over there. I did not hear it.
Tantia.
If you mean Tantia, then
We did.
I don't know. Probably back in town, maybe? Delivering your friend, assuming they got away.
Is there a meeting place?
In the church.
I have a feeling you're not giving us all the information that we want. Holding
I
back a
mean,
bit.
Tantia took your friend, right?
Yeah.
Frankly, you probably know more than I do. You've been awake longer.
All right then. New line of questioning. When's your agreed upon time to take us to them?
Man. And why would I tell you that?
Is it gonna hit you in the face again?
That's a fair point. They're going to meet at about 10 tonight.
He does have a good face. I see why he'd want
You
to.
just see Quintus about to say something dark, and then Wogan does that. It's like, oh, that work. That's working.
It's working. I get the same kind of vibe,
So
and then
much.
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
It's working.
I have a feeling like Vogan's done this countless times before. He knows what,
Dude, he's
knows it
really
works.
casual about it. He's like chewing
Yeah.
gum. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking hit you. Like,
Nah, it's all. Don't worry. It's part of the routine.
What's it matter to all of you? Frostclaw's probably too dangerous for you to handle on your own.
If you hadn't have stopped us, we'd have already handled them.
What makes you say they're too dangerous for us?
Well, they have some unknown employer from far away. If I was to send someone so far, I would send people that were capable. Plus, they can pay a lot, which also tells me that they probably have a lot of resources.
Then why did they need you?
I don't know. Maybe they didn't like hunting people down in the town. Or maybe it was a lot easier to hunt people if you made it legal to do so. These are people that could twist the arm of somebody like Agravain Kinder, after all. They've got to be something special. And I met with them once before.
We talked to your friend, the tiefling girl. Can't remember her name.
Blister.
Now see, now you're assuming everybody's my friend.
Is she not your friend? Sorry.
I didn't
She
say
seemed to
that, I'm
think
just
you-
saying
she
you're
seemed to
making
think that you was a
assumptions.
Is she not your friend?
I would consider her to be one of my best buds, and I'm sure that she hates me. So-
Even if they are someone we can't take care of, might as well have the full set instead of just one of us, I suppose.
You put way too much faith in me. I've been trying my hardest to find you guys this entire time.
I don't believe that.
By
for a
warning us
second.
at every chance.
Blister just told us that you knew where we lived. But when we talked to the city, you pretended like you didn't.
Blister is a liar. You can't trust. He, like, squints
What
his
a
eyes.
little
A
turd.
tiefling?
I love him.
A tiefling? That doesn't work on us.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. If I didn't intend to catch you, I wouldn't have set a trap up for you here, so your logic falls apart.
Those weren't yours, you said.
Certainly stuck my neck out for you, though. You could have killed me. It's a dangerous game I was playing if I didn't intend to bring you in.
Yeah, or warning us in the first place about the bounty. You had no obligation to do that. You could joke about enjoying the hunt, but that's not your MO.
Alright, well, clearly I'm not going to convince you to see reason. If you want to trust me enough to bring you in, it's your funeral. I'm going to betray you first chance I get.
Argo.
Hmm.
We heard that you and your friend go at some of the most suicidal missions you can put yourselves into. I believe after what we've already done, the highest standard could also use some friends like you. Do you think that we could work together this one time?
I am your hostage, My
We
job
need
is to
your-
capture you and bring you into the Frost Claw. If you think I'm doing anything but that, well, I guess you're sorely mistaken. But if you want to trust me and think that I'm going to suddenly turn around to try to help you, that's your funeral. Just makes my job easier.
All right, Vogum, take him down. I'm kidding.
Well, I earned this.
I feel like if we're going to save Fenris, this is the best option we have. And if he does turn on us, then we'll have to deal with him too.
Unless we get to
Doesn't seem
Tantia
to me.
first, but we have no idea where to look.
This also is the only way we can actually continue to rest up before tonight.
Yeah.
If they're as bad as we all think they are, we cannot handle them right now.
Yeah. We're in a bit of a bad sort.
No matter what, whether he betrays us, whether we can defeat them or not, the highest standard will be together in the end.
Yeah.
Nods.
I will do my absolute best to make sure that we get out of this alive. You have my word.
You didn't have to say anything. We knew you would.
True.
You're a fucking maniac.
You can't stop yourself.
Everyone in this guild is a fucking maniac.
And
I
you
don't
two
know.
really...
Just say, like,
I am the picture of
Can
sanity.
you two really say that after all we've been through? It's just me.
yeah.
I'm the
I wasn't
picture of
gonna do it, I was
sanity.
gonna do it.
I'm gonna go lay down.
Heal! Oh my god!
Just lean up on Kitty like, okay.
This is the tiefling that you are supposed to bring, but I do not see the elf.
Yeah. So I take it my partner hasn't been around to deliver them yet? That's a pity.
Hello, tiefling.
Hey, beautiful.
You have committed crimes against the Crystal Queen.
I've been, informed as much.
You have invaded her bedchambers,
Yeah,
broken her furniture, and you have stolen something of great importance. I would ask why, but my assumption is that you're insane.
You have no idea how right you are.
I suppose we will keep you here until your friend arrives. I trust you will have no reservations, given the position you are in.
No complaints from me. I'm fine to hang out with such fine company. Glad to see the queen treats you all so well. Just looking around the room.
The other figures that are there, they pull down the hoods they were wearing, and they have fairly pale features for the most part. They all look relatively thin. All of their lips curl into devilish smiles as you say they're treated well.
We are treated very well. Much better than we were before the Crystal Queen brought order to the Strike Lands. A pity. You will never get to enjoy the luxury she has brought to it.
I think I've enjoyed plenty enough in my lifetime.
Delilah, take him to one of the rooms. Make him comfortable.
One of the women with him moves forward, grabs you by the arm, and moves you away from Argo. Starts moving you back down the hallway towards one of the rooms that you had passed by.
Be seeing you soon, homie. Ugh. Looks like I'm gonna have another visit to a bed. Hi, Miriam, by the way.
Oh,
You
God
wish.
bless.
The only sleep you have to look forward to will be much longer than you joke.
You will get paid whenever both of them are brought here. In which Argo walks out. You see him walk by the door. Well, turns out you weren't worth a whole lot on your own, huh?
I get told that a lot.
Pity.
Yeah.
Guess you have to have a set for them to be worth anything. That's alright. I'm willing to wait around until Tantia shows up. The woman turns.
Bounty Hunter, stay down here. If your friend is going to show up with your query, You have no reason to leave.
Suppose I don't. I'll just make myself at home in one of these rooms then, shall I?
They're quite pleasant. There's stone everywhere.
I've noticed. Stone and candles. Not big on interior decorating here. He heads off, walks towards one of the other rooms and out of your sight. Okay, so everybody, I'm going to roll our initiatives, and then I'd like all of you to roll your initiatives again. And then I'm going to make Miss Horse a friendly. One sec. Boop.
Mrs. Horse. Oh my god.
And
Merces.
all initiatives are rolled. Everybody, please roll your initiatives for yourselves, and then Lexi, we're going to put you one higher than whoever
Oh my god! What a waste of a 20!
Yeah, it's true. And then, yeah, you are already at the top. In that case, Lexi, surprise round. You're up. I gotta roll for Fallsbin. I already technically did. We're good.
That's better.
That's a hit. Apply your sneak attack damage.
Oh. I killed him.
You did? You rush out, you fire the bolt.
Cool.
It's the twang of the crossbow letting go is heard, and that man looks over towards you with a very quick "What?" And then as soon as he does, he is hit and struck back against the wall, blood splattering behind him. Beside him, the other man's like, "What was? Are we?" And he looks over towards everyone and begins reaching for his weapon. You guys everyone will be alerted, but you guys still have your surprise round. So, that's him. I will also note, as he hits the wall and slides down, the hood gets caught and pulled off. You see the visage of a hobgoblin underneath.
It was Vogan all along.
How'd you get over there, Vogan?
You just
But
look
does
atop
he
Mrs.
have
Horse.
hair?
It's like a straw puppet.
Is Lexi going to
Goblin substitution.
Is Lexi going to move? As you go over there, as you take the shot and you hear him, see him reaching for his weapon, you hear the clatter of his hand reaching it, and he looks over towards where you are. You dive behind the pillar, and you just hear, "I see you there! Come on out!" And as that happens, Fallsbin goes around, jumps around. "Okay, here I am!" And he's going to he's going to fire an Eldritch Blast. He shoots. It hits him. It blasts that man. You see the cloak is burned away and destroyed by the blast, but it does not manage to break through his armor. "Oh! Alright, here I go!" And he rushes forward and jumps down behind the statue. "Sorry! Sorry! I'm sorry!" Quintus.
Alrighty.
Do it, Horsey boy. Do it.
And can I take the rest of my movement to charge the fuck out of this boy?
You can. There's just enough room.
Yay!
He will rush forward. He goes for a hoof attack. He hits.
Yeah!
Bucks.
Thank God.
And he kills him. As he's like, "Come on out, I see!" The blast of electricity from the force thing hits. He's like, "Gah! Was that a wizard?" And looks up. As he looks up, a horse charges him, and you just see Winchester, Quintus, and this hobgoblin disappear into this little alcove in the building as they rush forward. He's like, "Ah!" And he's gone.
All right. Mrs. Horse charges forward. She'll get right here.
She will count as a ridden mount. She's not independent like Winchester, just FYI.
Sure. I will then demount
Gotcha.
and then
just
go through the door here.
hurl yourself through the door.
Yeah!
Hi,
friends!
Mrs. Horse charges forward. You stand on Mrs. Horse and leap, burst, and roll through the door.
Do I recognize any of the hobgoblins that are dead?
Those ones, the ones that are dead, you do not immediately recognize them.
I'm gonna hit him again. Hiya.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna keep hitting him. Hiya. Oh my god!
Shit!
Hell
He
yeah.
Daggers back after you hit him, and just he coughs up blood, looks towards you, and just manages to croak out,
Warn the others. Seal the gate. Seal the way down.
Should I? Maybe I should.
Yeah, fuck this
Action
guy.
surge.
Oh.
That's a hit.
Shit.
All right, now you're dead.
Yeah!
You say that. You slice him. You bring the blade up. There's a slash, and for a second, nothing. The top half of his body, from his right shoulder down to underneath his the ribs on his left side, just falls from his body, and then the legs fall forward.
Javelin.
And
Javelin.
15. I'm gonna go over here, and then I'm gonna winds chain.
Oh my god!
You're disgusting.
What
but
a
I
disaster
appreciate
boy.
your existence.
We're going
Yeah.
fucking Nova in here, boys.
Hiya.
That's a hit.
Do I scorpion mark him?
Fucking do
Take
it.
him down, Mush.
If you can.
Down,
There are, you would be aware there's more of them downstairs.
Yeah. Nah, I'll save.
And a possibly traitorous Argo.
Oh, there we go.
Hell
They got it in. Yeah. Close the thing. Seal it up.
Do it. Seal it. I fucking dare you. Calm yourself, Carrie.
I can't. I can't. It can't be done.
Fallsbin is going to go 1, 2,
wanna take
3,
out two of
4,
them and
5.
feel like you
He's
go
going
through
to
them. I took out one.
Vogan, as you are fighting this hobgoblin, you see a tiny staff come up in front of one of the windows and angles itself in. You see a little rat head poke itself over on his tiptoes. He angles the staff over his head and he's going to fire.
I love him.
I
love
love
Fallsman.
him. The perfect
Fallsman's our
rat
best
It
boy.
fires, it misses wildly. It blows up one of the benches that are
Fallsman is
there.
the worst.
Sorry,
never
sorry,
mind.
Vogan,
Are you alright, Vogan? Did I hit you?
Great.
Okay.
Leave him
Quinn-
alone. Go fuck yourself,
Quinn-
Fallsman.
Vogan!
Oh, you idiot.
No.
I've heard about you. He
What have you
rushes.
heard?
He rushes down, sticks his head down the stairwell. They're here! They're attacking! Prepare yourselves! I've heard that you're a disgrace. And he rushes at you. He swings. Oh my god! Well, that makes sense.
Dude! All right, hold. Okay, before you roll damage, I'll severance that.
Severance.
Fucking, gotta be kidding me, man.
That. Severance that.
Or, god damn it.
Exemplary
wrong one.
deflection, you mean?
Yeah, that one.
He
Did
swings at you. You recover 5 hit points
there we
because I don't think you put the thing on yourself. But recover 5 hit points. He deals only 10 to you, critical included. Your turn. Goodbye. Goodbye, Cerberus. You weren't.
like Azad. You're nothing compared to him.
That's true.
And he's
And
dead.
hiya. Oh,
missed.
that misses. Second attack. That misses as well.
Oh.
Love that. All right.
He's some kind of super hobgoblin.
Evidently.
Maybe you're not
Neither are you.
Maybe you're actually comparable to Lekazar.
You're nothing compared to Ding Ding. Huh.
You're even more powerful than Lekazar.
He's
Guys, we gotta go.
We gotta get out of here. That guy's Lekazar.
All right.
Kitty, I'm sorry. We have to leave.
All right. It's like fucking, like 15 minutes after the fight starts. Just, I'm here, guys. No!
Watch
Dude,
out,
it
Urso.
doesn't-
He's a super
It doesn't
hobgoblin.
hit. It misses.
God damn it!
Can't roll anything above a 15. Oh my god!
This guy is stronger than Lekazan.
Get the fuck out of here, y'all!
The hobgoblin.
Every single attack we've thrown at him.
You know what?
This is ridiculous.
I'm gonna just sit down here. Oh my god.
Well-
I hate running.
Top of the round. So let's see if you guys can beat this hobgoblin. Lexi.
Godspeed to you, man.
You have someone next to him this time.
I have become the legend.
True.
The legendary super hobgoblin.
The legendary super gob.
That's a hit. Oh, here he goes.
right, now you're dead.
Snake.
And now sneak
You
attack
see,
damage
because
him
he
and get
started
him.
glowing gold, he became a better target.
Yeah, okay.
Like Vegeta, upon claiming to be a super hobgoblin, he died. You fire it at him, you hit him with the bolt, his body falls backwards and tumbles down the stairs behind him.
I did it. I got him. I got the super gob.
That's great.
Slayer of gods is among us!
Are we going with super gob or super hub?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna yell out, and anybody within 60 feet of me that can either see or hear me, and I'm a loud boy.
Yeah, there's no reason he wouldn't be able to hear you from there. Go ahead.
Highest standard! Go!
Right next to you, Quinn. We can hear you.
Action search.
All right. As you get in, I will let you know before you do that, as you get in, the lot of them point their weapons towards Miriam.
We do not need to bring him in alive. If you do not stop, we will happily deliver corpses.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm just gonna start throwing fucking javelins.
All right, so you are action surging then?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Please work this time. Hiya! Damn it. Hiya. Oh!
You strike her for 9 damage. Max damage on that. She takes it and lets out a...
I forgot to give myself back one of those, by the way. So. And then secondary. Yeah!
All right. And that's a hit. Ugh! They're not looking so good. This person leaps at you, jumping through the air with strength that you wouldn't expect. They come down on you, bringing a short sword down against you. Or a long sword, rather.
Style jump.
Yeah. They crit!
No.
They come at you, they strike you, they deal 15 damage, reduced to 12 as they cut into you. They come up, they take another swipe at you. That one misses. That one, it clangs against your armor. The sweep wide. They are very strong, but not particularly skilled swordsmen.
Get out of my way!
Alright, hey. How are you guys doing?
Pretty okay. How are you?
Oh,
Sorry
you know,
we couldn't keep up our end of the deal.
Stop having a conversation out there!
I'm just at that part that I told you was gonna happen, where I betray you.
Aw,
Really?
man.
I told you.
Did it not?
The whole point of this was for
Consider
me
this.
to get... The whole point of this was I get my paycheck, and then I help you guys out, and I don't
Fine,
got
we
it
have
yet.
these guys.
Okay, but
All right,
that's not
consider
our
this.
fault. Your partner didn't show up with our friend. It's not our fault.
Yeah, she's missing.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Listen, you don't
And-
need to be a dick, right?
Oh, stop being a dick.
Yeah, right.
Virgo,
Super.
stop doing the thing you exactly said you were gonna do.
Do the thing I don't like. You know?
Tina, come
Sexy.
get your ham.
You know what? I'm just gonna blame
Wow.
Brett for all of this. I'm just gonna blame Brett for all of this.
That's fair.
Yeah.
He's gonna cast Hold Person on the three of you.
Oh, come on. Oh!
Sorry, Vogan.
Oh, well.
It hits Vogan. I'm afraid I haven't quite seen everything that I need to yet.
Damn it! If only I could give inspiration from beyond.
All right.
Well, anyway.
Beyond the grave, were you about to say, Brett?
Well, hey Swinder! Can't say I didn't do my best! Looks like I can't stop them. I know when I'm beat. You beat me once, right? I couldn't possibly stop you a second time. Seeing what's happening, he looks to the lot of you.
I see. Well then, the time for subtlety has come to an end, it would seem.
You see him tense up. Fur begins to grow across his face. And you see his body begin to contort and twist into the visage of a humanoid tiger.
Jerky.
Bad joke.
Aware jerky.
Where jerky?
Let us end this! I will bring back corpses then! If there was ever a time, my lady, it would be now. We have them.
He's then going to drop the stone on the ground. He is going to rush up, and he looks like he's going to stop Marion from trying to leave.
I smile at him and cast invisibility on myself.
True sightwear tiger.
Let's go.
I'm sorry, what the fuck is that?
He's a were-tiger.
What?
Swinder revealed what he wants.
Oh, Harry.
I was peeing.
Well,
turn
stop
invisible?
peeing.
I think you'll find your fight is with me! Pull out the standard, I'm gonna start hitting him.
Go for it.
Shit! Let's go again! That didn't happen! Ha!
That's a hit.
Redo.
Oh, the first one was a hit?
That one was a hit, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh.
The second one misses. We're going to count that for the attack.
Yeah.
You do 5 damage.
I'm gonna push him over!
You can try.
Damn!
As you attempt, you swing your shield towards him. He brings both of his arms up. It bashes into the backs, and he pushes them forward, stretching his arms out, knocking you slightly off balance as he forces you back. Argo is going to step to the side and lean on his scythe.
I have been defeated.
So
Yep.
hot. Oh.
Well, there I
Not earning
go.
that 200 gold, Argo! I'm playing.
Attack it now.
Take him down. I believe in you.
Leaving yourself vulnerable.
Wow, Vogan.
We have not found our second target. And I will admit the odds do not look good for me, but it will take only a minute for her to find me. And when she does, you... What are you?
He regards and looks back beyond all of you. Standing back out through the archway behind you all. Hey, Bread. You guys hear the clamor of steel and turn back to see Fenris.
Oh, thank God.
She appears to still be restrained. A scythe blade pressed up against her neck, with Tantia holding her in place.
Oh, bitch. Oh, no.
So we need to wait another 30 minutes, is what you're saying.
Yep, here we go.
So I believe that means we can now negotiate from a position of authority. Wouldn't you say so, Tantia?
Yeah, I think so. Unless you have any plans to escape, Fenris.
She's gonna look between her friends and them. You won't hurt them if I go.
Maybe. Depends what the job entails. From the sounds of what I just heard there, Tiger Boy, is your employer going to be coming to us? I've been wondering what this trade-off's going to look like.
I do not know what you mean.
You got here pretty fast based on when they met your queen, right? Been wondering how you got here. All of you. I've been wondering, and you haven't really been answering my questions. So before we continue this, how exactly did you get to the Crystal Queen's castle? I assume that she is not relatively close to here. So where is she? He presses
What
the
do you wanna
scythe
know?
blade. He presses the scythe blade tighter against Fenris's neck.
We acquired the aid of, I don't know if you've heard the myths about of a divine Esper a few weeks away from here.
You had an angel help
5
you?
days.
That's...
We made a deal, and she gave us a portal in.
And exactly where did that portal go?
Guest chambers, mostly. Couple nobles drinking
I'm asking
about.
about, like, what country?
Ah,
Where
the Strike
exactly?
Lines. We
The
assume.
Strike Line. That would explain their comments up until now about... So she's all the way over there? Well, then I guess we have nothing to do but to get our bounty for this. Hey, Tiger! If you want help! You called for help using that stone of yours, right? I saw you had one before. Is she coming to get us?
No. There is a backup plan for if we got into trouble. If you help us, Argo, we are still willing to give you what you're owed.
He presses the dull part of the blade against your neck and tilts your head towards him, Fenris. How up to date are you?
Pretty up to date.
So then you understand exactly what's going to happen to you, don't you?
I'm afraid I do.
Alright. Well then, to make sure nobody else muscles in on what we're trying to do, he puts his hand out towards you. You see magic building up around it. You see him move his hand quickly over towards the direction of the group. And you see the tiger freeze. Fenris, roll initiative.
Yeah, boy!
Ooh.
If the queen's not coming here, we've got no interest in following up on this contract. Tantia releases Fenris's hands. Unbound.
I hope that was okay. I'm not an actor.
No, that was fine. Now, before whatever it is gets here that he called, let's get him!
At this point, you guys all see this vague blue mist begin building up around the area.
It's looking to me like we don't have long.
She's gonna cast haste on Tanti.
Oh my god!
I've been wanting to do this since I saw her battle.
Oh my god. You need to marry her.
What's this? Bread playing into a certain person's haste addiction?
Alright.
That's bullshit. That's not fair.
You rush forward as you were appearing to be bound before. You would not have had your weapon. As you go, Tantia will take off of her own back your weapon and shield and tosses them over towards you as you move forward. There you go.
And then like
Hi,
a little...
Fenris.
Hi, Lexi. I hope I didn't make you worry too much.
I'm so sweaty.
We'll handle
Do your
this
thing.
later.
Do your thing. We'll talk later. Yeah, do your thing.
I have to be cool. All right.
As you're going, you just you see Argo rest back onto his scythe, look to the side. You couldn't have taken longer, huh? That was a bit of a wait. Lexi, you're up.
Oh, jeez. He's fucking paralyzed, you say?
He is paralyzed.
Oh, okay, here I go.
The amount that I was low-key wondering if he was going to succeed that, and then I was just kind of already like, well, that's my luck. Get him, I guess. But when he failed, I was like, yes! Thank you, D&D God!
Oh,
I'm
Argo
a
gets to
destiny.
just be cool.
oh, I love him. Getting back with this movie.
Now I need to get one shot with whatever's being summoned. Perfect.
Oh, in case of Deathstroke, I get to crit him, right?
Because he's paralyzed, you get to crit him.
Yeah.
So make sure you
Have
hit the
some
crit button and then roll your attack. And you had advantage, so add critical. Or add sneak attack.
Oh my god!
And then he died all at once.
And the haste
Sort of
meant
what I'm
nothing.
expecting.
Tantia just looks at him, his eyebrows melt off, he just dissipates. I'm so excited.
Oh, he's alive! Oh, he's a were-tiger, come on.
Right, that's a lot.
You
Oh my god.
stab into him, he lets out a muffled frozen... His turn, he can do not but try to roll. He failed. Goodbye, Swim. Miriam, you're up. Now take your turn, you fool. You beautiful idiot.
When you said you wanted dog, I figured maybe a rat. I'm gonna be surprised I didn't go tiger.
Nailed it. Go, tiger.
He failed.
Take that.
Oh,
Die.
look at that double fucking... Yeah, cool. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. You can't trip.
Double fucking.
Yeah.
Double fucking. Hell yeah.
Bubble fuck.
He's paralyzed and will have disadvantage on his next attack.
Oh.
Dang.
Ah.
Surround him! Eh!
Ree.
Alrighty.
Like you're
Come on,
not
y'all.
about to hammer him.
Yeah. You're about to fucking kill him, dude.
Push him down and start kicking him.
I don't need to push him down.
Exactly,
He's
go
fucking
Tigers.
paralyzed.
That's what we
Yeah.
gotta do. We gotta go Tigers, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Ah!
Boop. There we go. Yay!
I mean, it doesn't matter, but yay! Ah!
Die.
Man. Man, he has a sack of hit points.
Oh.
Jeez.
Secondary. Ah!
I believe in you!
That's a hit.
Yay!
Flag a critical, flag a critical.
Yeah.
Rolls one dice.
You drive the spear. How do you do it? How do you want to do this?
I say surround him. As I run behind him, I basically stab him once from the front, get behind him, twirl the standard, and then stab it through him on the other side.
You get
Throwing him to the ground.
You stab him. As you drive him down into the ground, he hits it. The magic begins to fade off of him. But even as he's dying, he still remains largely unable to move. You see him scratching at the ground. His hand seems to move up towards the stone that he had dropped upon the ground.
I am happy to have died in your service. They will get what is coming to them regardless. Lady Satsum.
Energy begins to build up. You see a circle, a magic circle glowing on the ground, forming itself. Miriam, what it reminded you of immediately comes to mind. The exact radius, size, and the color of the mist reminds you of the Crystal Queen's teleportation circle that you briefly familiarized yourself with. A thick fog fills the entirety of the area, and you hear a low, guttural growl and a voice coming from the mist just outside the chamber.
I smell familiar scents.
You hear stomping as something begins moving towards you.
How fitting that my first hunt.
And you see the large form of a long white neck with the head of a white dragon protruding from it.
Would be those who ran away.
What brings you here?
I was killed, and the Crystal Queen revived me.
As it emerges, you see that this dragon is now wingless.
Scarred as I am.
Oh no, what a bitch.
Told that if I kill you, I would earn my freedom and my restoration.
Do you sincerely believe that?
The Queen is more convincing than the petty words of vermin could ever be. I know when I am bested. Let us see if you know the same.
Hey, why's a dragon mad at you guys?
Everyone's mad at us!
I was gonna say, Argo, you
He's
should
a
just
dragon!
assume
What
that
is a
everything's
dragon mad
eyes.
at?
I had sex on his bed.
You did what?
I go back and sock Miriam in the face.
I changed sides.
I change sides. I'm with
That's
you,
it.
dragon.
We're feeding him to the dragon.
I wouldn't underestimate him. He is more trouble than you'd think, dragon. And apparently he is less trouble than you'd think. He is gonna.
Vogan takes his hand up, points at himself.
Looks in the mirror.
As you do that, it turns over towards you as you aim the bracer at it.
That is an idolic arm.
No, it's just it's a special thing and don't want.
Oh,
Oh shit, I didn't aim at it. Shit.
Yeah! One second, it hits the arm. Come on, one second, hold on.
One second, there we go.
It's there!
Oh my god! Yes!
What's the DC? What's the DC?
6.
It failed by more than 5.
Yes!
It rolled so bad.
And you said it was a bad day to fight a dragon.
It
Still is.
Yeah.
Hey guys, let's
Way too
leave!
true.
how did creatures like you slay an idol?
Okay.
All right, guys, let's leave.
Let's fucking go! Let's get out of here!
As you use
Okay, so
that,
it
it
takes-
strikes it, so it's the critical failure effect, so apply the petrified whole nonsense to it.
Got him. Does he take the 2d8 psychic damage also?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
He
What was
takes
good?
the,
What was I?
he takes that damage. The dragon turns to stone in place, and remains locked in this state of surprise as of that happening. Tantia looks towards it, and she pounds one of her fists into the other. All right, time to shatter him, right?
That sounds like a plan.
Or we could run!
If we run, he'll just find us again! This ends tonight!
Okay, Quinn.
She goes for an attack. She absolutely shatters it. She jumps up, brings her fist down on it, and strikes it. As she does, the entire thing cracks and shatters, and this creature lets out a large... There's a shockwave that emits from the point of impact from the magic petrifying it. It falls to the side. Boop. She hits it.
Amount of scales, it can barely make me some new underwear.
As it falls to the ground and hits the side, she comes down on it, and Tantia is going to go for more attacks. She tries to strike at it from the underside, hoping that that's weaker. She hits. She swings. She does 13 damage. Strikes
yeah,
again.
What's bleeding?
Hits again. does 12 more damage, and then bonus action attack. She backs up, rushes towards it, strikes it as hard as she can in the rib cage. That one misses. That one hits it, and it raises up one of its arms and blocks it with its claw. And that is going to be...
Good job!
No.
Encouragement to everyone.
Action
So
surge.
cute.
She strikes again, and that one misses. She goes for another attack. That one hits. She gets one more hit in on it.
Get it, girl.
Hey, 13 damage is 13 damage, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I
That'd
like
be
to
neat.
imagine that heckin' Vogan with like barely any fucking blood, he's all lightheaded and he's like,
I
oh Fenris,
tried."
I missed you so much. Like he's so sweet about it.
There you
Wow,
go.
I didn't know you had sisters. He's just seeing doubles of her.
I didn't know you
They're
had
more-
a twin. What are you doing with that other Fenris?
All right.
You may have a concussion.
Is that you?
Huh.
You may have a concussion. Fuck you.
Alright, you seem cantankerous as ever, so I'll take it. That's the
You're
end of
gonna
my
make
turn.
up words again.
She'll just pat him on his little bald head. God bless.
Yeah, you stay out of there, boy.
I'm gonna start my counter song, and I will bonus action give who's close on the order. I'll give Tantia a bardic inspiration. Like, yeah, do that
Roger.
punching thing again. That's nice.
Nice.
You got it.
Okay.
That's what I'm all about.
And that's advantage.
It wouldn't
Oh,
matter.
well, I
You-
succeeded anyway.
You succeed either way. It stands, looks towards Quintus and Raleigh.
You did not know to keep your mouth shut when you spoke to the Queen, and that got you nowhere. You spoke to me as if we were equals. And that is why I'm so willing to do this now. And even now, you speak above your station, rodent. See where that leaves you.
And it is going to use its breath weapon on that side of the room.
Good job pissing off the dragon, dude.
Way to go. Bye.
I am sorry in advance.
If
If this goes really bad.
Okay,
Thanks
maybe
for aggroing the dragon.
Way to go. Oh, way to go.
Good job, Miriam!
So
is
proud of
this
you, Miriam.
So it like looks towards you. It reels back and exhales a cone of cold that strikes the room, unleashing it upon it. The rest of you, you take a step back as the freezing temperatures cause your skin to begin to burn. The entire room is left a sheet of ice, and here comes
roll damage.
Yeah.
Oh god.
that
how much
could
was
have
that?
just killed both of you if it had rolled too high. You could have just been dead.
Oh my god.
I didn't hear no bell.
Damn.
How much damage was that?
That was 49.
That was 1 point away from killing me.
Yeah.
Aggroed the fucking dragon!
Fenris.
I promise I do combat, but I'm gonna miss
Why
this
don't you
step.
show me what you can do, Elf? Come on.
Another time. I have to make sure my friends don't die first. I'll owe you one though.
Oh, will you?
Noting if you cast a spell as a bonus action.
You could have just walked over here.
Oh, that's fair. Well,
Yeah,
he
you
would have.
should've-
He wouldn't he have smacked me?
Nope.
No, you would have walked around.
range.
No, if you walk around him and don't leave his range, he does not attack you. So you can get over there and you can have
Yes,
not
can
used
I have
that.
Can I have my missing step back?
Yeah.
Please. Please, Wogan.
Yeah. I'm saying yes. This is me saying yes. There you go.
Guys, come on.
We're just making.
Guys, come on.
Goddamn.
You're fighting a
little
dragon.
shitties.
We're fighting a dragon.
We're being shitty boys.
You're
I
in
know.
what counts as a dungeon fighting a dragon.
I am
Play the game.
Goddamn.
It's good to see you again. That's the end of my turn.
Same here.
I'm starting to think I'm not gonna get to see what you can do.
You seem impatient. Are you that excited for it?
Yeah, I am.
All right, Raleigh, you cough up a brick of ice.
Take him down, Aristo!
Logan, stay in it. My God.
You fire, it just missed. You're coming in under its AC by 1 so much.
Oh.
God damn it.
That's
That's better.
Is that the first Nat19 of the game?
Nah, Spencer got one earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Take
I
an
got
inspiration
one.
and
It's
roll your
yours
damage.
is still special.
So special.
So special. Bah.
You strike it. It takes 9 damage. You want to knock it back 10 feet?
Yeah.
It goes through the pillar. It can only go back this far because then it is colliding with
Do you
the
not
wall.
have hex anymore?
Well, now's the time, boyos.
Yeah.
Vestige stand.
Oh.
It's my last point.
Ding 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 ding.
And
That's a hit, I should say.
super hit. Die.
You strike it. It stumbles back.
Second attack.
That's a miss. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's too bad. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay, holding on.
Could I have? I wanted to move here real quick. Saving face.
Oh shit.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, is Argo within 30 feet? Hold on.
I need to know. I think he is. Nice.
That adds 5.
You.
So
Yep. You hit.
17.
Die!
No!
Oh my lord!
Oh,
Moving on.
Hit him once.
Moving on. All right.
Kitty.
Is that your turn? Ma'am!
If there was ever a time.
Now's the time, Mary.
Mary,
We didn't even give you this one.
Grasp your destiny.
Roast him!
The cape over your left arm begins to change color and becomes much brighter. Go ahead and do whatever it is you're going to do.
Oh, I'm vicious mockery in this motherfucker. I think you'll make a fine coat, maybe some pants.
It succeeds.
No!
As you do that, and
Action surge.
as you do that, as it does that, you also see along your arms bracers form out of light and appear on them. There's a sudden flash of light from you, as the armor now looks much more resplendent than it was. All of the metal sections look entirely new. You find yourself becoming aware of qualities of it as if you'd identified it, and you learn the item's name.
Get him.
If I cannot, I was ordered to take one of you 3 with me. So it will be you!
Goes for an attack, that's a hit. Brings its claw down, strikes you even with disadvantage. Pins Raleigh under its hand, lets out a roar.
What have you done to my sight, tiefling? What have you done?
Only
Everything.
really affects those weak of the mind. Sorry.
Everyone, please stop pissing off the dragon.
What is so much
Christ.
fun?
Fight me!
Aristo!
my
Oh.
As it is going to heckin' healing word. Raleigh? You immediately sputter back to life again.
Oh my god, again!
Get used to it.
You're welcome.
I'm becoming weirdly numb to it, and that scares me more than the dying.
Could I try to jump on it? Do I have enough movement to jump on it?
I'd say you'd have to. You could try to. To what effect?
Yeah. I just want to be on its back so I can stab it.
We would probably run that like a acrobatics versus. We'd run that as like a grapple check with you running acrobatics instead of athletics.
Also, if you
Okay.
kill it, and he asks how you're gonna do this.
I mean, it's gonna be pretty fucking sweet. So yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So acrobatics.
Mm-hmm. As it's weakened, it. Oh my god! You rush towards it. As you rush towards it, again, its eye is constantly readjusting. It swings its claw out towards you, misses, you leap to the side, it tries to bite you. As it does, you leap up off its snout and onto its back.
Stibbledy stab, boy. Yeah.
If you miss, I'm gonna be so happy.
You hit.
I get sneak attack, right? Because they're all right there.
Yep.
Could I also have booming bladed this boy?
I'm gonna say you've done a lot this turn. Just do your attack. You
appreciate you.
you basically did a grapple, so.
Also, don't ask. Do.
I'm doing it. I'm just double checking. Fuck. God.
Fool.
Die.
How would you like to do this?
Hell yeah! I killed the dragon.
How would you like to do this?
Dude, I'm gonna jump up onto its head, and when it tries to fucking swipe at me, I'm just gonna fucking stab it through its brain with my heckin' cool.
All right, it
Obviously,
snaps at you as it does. You leap up, put one foot on its snout, you jump up from it and re-angle yourself. As its head is coming up towards you, it tries to snap at you in the air, but you move yourself to the side, bring your blade up, and on the way down, drive it down into the top of its skull. The blade pierces down, just emerging from the top of its mouth inside of it. It stops for a second, you hanging off of it. You fall from the blade into the ground. It stumbles for a moment.
I am Earth. If you think this is the end, you're wrong. You will never escape her.
It collapses to the ground.
Never.
Guys, we killed the dragon.
Oh my god.
We killed the dragon.
Raleigh gives a slow, approving nod and then fades away.
Oh no! He was a ghost all along.
You guys head up,
Why?
looking to the sky. You gaze among the clouds and the quarter moon that hangs, and Lexi, you're the first person. You see a shadow cast over the moon. Looking over towards it, you're the first one to catch the large silhouette of what appears to be another dragon, high in the sky, hanging, wings flapping, looking down towards you. As the light catches it, it takes you a second for your eyes to adjust, and as you point to the others, all of you see a massive, massive as far as dragons go, brass dragon, flying, looking down towards all of you. You see its eyes glowing in the night. It scans the lot of you. It flies down and lands beside you on top of the church. A low growl as it looks over to you. It sees the remains of the white dragon that you'd be carrying out, too large to stow in your packs. It lets out a little and nods to you. Then quickly takes back off into the sky. A gust of air pushes you all down briefly as it flies back. And having confirmed whatever it came here to confirm, it flies back towards the walls of Summergrass and disappears over the city.
Ha!
You're great heroes.
And with a wide shot of that dragon flying back over Summergrass and disappearing into the darkness, we're going to end our very long game. Goodbye, YouTube. We'll see you next week with... I'm sure things will only get calmer in the game from here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
As they are wont to do.
Surely things could not get worse.
But we are going to... Heckin' later, taters.
Goodbye. Later, tater.